James's Winter Games episode was definitely funny, particularly the ending sequence, but it was one of those reviews where I wasn't sure whether James was being 100% honest about the game, or he just adjusted it on occasions to make it funnier. If that was the case, it definitely worked, because the episode, despite only being 10 minutes long, was hilarious. However, I really wanted to see what Winter Games was like, so I purchased myself a copy of the game to see how it was. Now, you'll have to excuse the audio. With this particular cartridge, the game itself works fine, but the audio is a bit screwed up. Which, considering the game's age, I should consider myself lucky that it's just the audio. It's mainly the music that's screwed up, so I'm going to completely mute the figure skating because the music for that one is ear-piercing. The game's main menu is simple enough. It gives you the option to compete in all events, one event, or you can go into practice mode, and the additional options are see world records and watch the intro again. Let me tell you folks, those last two options are completely useless. In fact, the practice mode option is essentially useless as well because it's just like the compete in one event option. Because all you do is select one event and you go a couple times before it brings you back to the main menu. If the practice mode meant you can do it as many times as you want it before going back to the main menu, that would make a little more sense, but it doesn't do that, which makes it a useless option. When you compete, you have the option of putting in a name for yourself, which I'm really glad is an option because it serves no purpose. Also, after you put in the name, depending on what country you select, you have to listen to the national anthem, which I'm fine with, but seeing as this cartridge has audio issues, I thought my ears were going to explode. The events consist of ski jumping, or hot dog aerials as is known in the game, bobsledding, speed skating, and of course figure skating. I think the reason why they called ski jumping hot dog aerials is because your character is actually shaped like a hot dog when he jumps. Now, despite what people might think, the A button actually is functional with this game. However, for ski jumping, both A and B do the same thing, which is do a flip. You can flip once or twice, even though I wouldn't recommend twice because you'll just crash. I've tried starting the flip earlier, but the game seems designed where you can only flip at a certain point, which makes the double flip impossible to accomplish. Also, the controls, despite being so simplistic, are not really that great. The game doesn't make it clear on what causes the double flip. At first I thought it was because I was hitting the button twice, but on occasions I could hit the button only once and he'd still do the double flip. Speed skating simply sucks. All you do is hit left and right on the D-pad to gain momentum, which is fine, but I could never win this race in the times that I tried it. My character is moving fast as hell, while that bastard computer racer looks like he's doing about a quarter mile an hour, and yet I can't catch his ass. At first I thought I was supposed to be taking long strides like the computer racer is, so I tried it that way, but no, I still couldn't win. Bobsledding is just way too clunky to understand. The left part of the screen shows the map of the track, the top right shows an up-close shot of you and the bobsled, and the middle and bottom right shows your speed and time. If you try to watch all of this, you're not going to get very far. In fact, even if you just watch the bobsled, you're not going to get very far. I tried this damn game over 10 times and couldn't get past the first turn. I kept crashing. It didn't matter what I did. I slowed down, I still crashed. I took the turn up the left side, I crashed. I tried to take it up the right side, and I crashed. Also, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be watching the up-close shot on the top right part of the screen in order to see what you're doing, which begs the question on why it's on such a small part of the screen and not where the map of the track is. Wouldn't it have made more sense to switch them? And last but not least is figure skating. Well, to tell you the truth, figure skating is actually not the last event, it's actually the third event, but I felt like going in the same order that James did, so I'll do this one last. This part doesn't get any better because I wish anyone luck in trying to figure out how to play this part of the game. I mashed buttons and had no clue how to actually pull off any tricks while figure skating. Only out of pure luck would I pull off a spin or a triple axel. In fact, remember when during James's review, he stares away from the TV to talk to the camera, and when he does that, he makes her do a triple axel. I did the exact same thing. I turned my head out of disgust when playing this game, and sure enough, when I turned back, she was just completing a triple axel. I tell you how I did it, but I seriously don't know. I mashed buttons like crazy or tried a variety of button combinations with the D-pad and the A and B buttons, but I still had no clue how I did it. So, that's Winter Games. Is it really that bad? Yes, it is. The really sad part, though, is that it might have actually been an okay idea if they had just organized it a little better and if the controls were much better. It doesn't seem like a bad idea for a game, but it just doesn't pay off in the end. Well, everyone, that's it for now. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time.